So UPST, when it opened 2 days ago on Thursday, we bought the 380s for next week. And the reason we bought those, and they were 30 points out of the money. They got to 350. And in the morning, right at the open, I looked at the 380s, and they were $1. And I'm like, when does UPST move 30 points on a Thursday and Friday? My best recollection, it does it one time all year. And he wants $1. Fair value would have been 10 cents to 30 cents. Now, I can't tell you how I get fair value, but I know this. Okay? 10 cents to 30 cents. And I'm like, people are paying $1. They're nuts. So I'm going to add a week and just be safe. And boom, we buy them, and we make 5 points on them in 10 minutes, make 50 grand, you're out. Meanwhile, those went to $23 from one. $23 from one, if you held Thursday and Friday. $23 from one. He knew they were going to go. That's why they were $1. This is why premium tells the story. This is why you can become great if you learn premium. Okay, Netflix. Netflix went down. We had Netflix. It didn't work. Don't care. Made so much money on Amazon, doesn't matter. But the Amazon news was impacting Netflix, so it went down. Okay, now you got Netflix earnings this week. You got Bitcoin may completely accelerate. And then one thing for some people on Twitter, because I know there's people on here that are on Twitter, also a lot of them, telling me, oh, this is ETFs, they're not going to hold Bitcoin. Why do you think you know this? Are you smart enough to know this? I'm absolutely positive you're not smart enough to know this. Okay? And this is why people lose money. You can create an ETF, and you can say, we're going to buy futures, and we're going to hold this. This is how our ETF's going to do. Or you can be like Kathy and say, I'm going to hold this stock and this stock and this stock. And they may say, and she may put out a fund that in an ETF, she may say, I'm going to hold Bitcoin. Or she may say, I'm going to hold Bitcoin futures. You don't know what she's going to do, and you don't know what the fund is going to do. But they will tell you this. And I don't care if you think you know why or whatever. They can do whatever they want to do. If she says, I'm going to hold cryptos, not any of the futures, I'm going to hold all cryptos in my fund, then she has to do that. So if she does that, or somebody does that and says, I'm going to hold cryptos, they pull cryptos off the market, and the thing is at 100,000 so fast it's going to make your head spin. When does that start? Does it start today? Does it start tomorrow? Does it start next year? I don't know. I don't know. Then we see, and then we see. Okay? OIH, look at it go. Look at it go. It's about to rip to 252. Now, OIH is a story about if you really, really, really watch my video and expecting zero. You buy it at 250, it goes to 7, it goes to 150, it goes to 3, it goes to 80 cents, and then it closes at 4. We sold them at 4. At 4. And it's finally going to go, and it's finally going to break up, and it's finally going to spike. And if it really takes off, it's going to be 252 this week. Interesting, interesting. Now, something else that people say on Twitter, and people say because you don't comprehend the basics of Logic 101. Okay? Omid, for all the money that Omid has, that, I mean, he's going to go buy Del Frisco. He's not going to buy Del Frisco. He'll buy Del Taco. Del Taco franchises. Okay? So here's the thing. you only have X amount of money. So when I hear things like Amazon's ripping, well, if Amazon is ripping, how much money do you need in Amazon? If you have $1 million and you start buying Amazon, the stock, you don't have enough money to go buy Netflix and Roku and OIH. You don't have money to buy the other rippers. If Google is ripping, it's the same thing. If you buy Google, Amazon, and I don't know, what's another big one up there? BKNG, you've bought 3 monster stocks. How are you spending money buying Roku and the other stuff? So I hear this all the time. Sam, Amazon's ripping, Google's ripping, but this thing isn't moving. Well, it can't move. But they don't have money to buy everything. They may buy 8 things or 9 things. They don't have money to buy everything. So when you get things like UPSD is running nonstop, people were selling stuff to buy UPSD, right? They were selling stuff to buy Affirm. And that happens. And then we see. How much fun was that on Friday? It wasn't that much fun for Omen because he can't buy Amazon.
Yep.
He just buys from Amazon. He just can't buy Amazon. Interesting.
That's right. I contributed by buying from Amazon.
But how much fun was that? And how amazing. 4.5 to 59. 4.5 to 59.
And that's after not touching it for a month.
Yeah. And the reason people lose money and the reason that trolls are made, the reason they're made because, I mean, the basics of logic. Think about this, Omen. And Omen couldn't buy it, but let's say he did. Let's say Sam buys it at 450, and they go to 26 just like that. Meanwhile, Sam is saying 2409 possible. Now, you're going to say, well, why did Sam sell it? Well, that's just a stupid question in itself. It's a stupid question. Sam's up 125K on something that's expiring on Friday. That's expiring in 2 hours. Do you sell it? You absolutely sell it, even though you know it's going higher, just in case. Just in case that Matt Jones throws a bomb after you take the lead that goes through, that zero chance that could happen. And it happens. And that's why you sell it. So just in case Amazon were to die. But the next guy, and Sam rolls up, and let's say he rolls up, and we bought those at 5.5, right? And they went to 10. Then they came down. We sold them at 6. So made our money back. We made $5,000. Had 100 of them. Okay? And meanwhile, we roll up again. At some point, it's going to stop moving. Went right to 3409. But let's say Omen doesn't buy the first one. He doesn't buy the second one. And he says, shit, everybody's making money. I'm going to go buy it now. So he buys it an hour and a half later, and it goes down. And that's how trolls are created. That's how trolls are created. Because you didn't make money on the first one, you didn't make money on the second one, and you got in on the third one. Look at UPSD. I see people this week sending me questions this money in the morning, saying, Sam, UPSD dipped, can I buy it? Well, why would you buy it now? It's up from 270 in 2 weeks. Now, I may buy it, but here's the thing. We banked $250K on UPSD in the last 10 days. If I put in 10K, I'm happy. If you put in 10K and it goes to shit, or you put in a K, it goes to shit, oh my God, Sam sucks. This is why you have to wait till the next real setup. Well, you don't have to wait. You can do whatever you want to do, right? Interesting. But to become great, you have to build your account and play with profits. Now, maybe you go buy the 11.4 expiration, and if they don't do a secondary and it rips, it's 500. Very possible. Mr. Holman, what do you got for us today? Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Well, it's pretty quiet morning. Markets pretty quiet. Watching the yields a little bit. We kind of pushed around 160 here, and I think maybe that's what probably caused the futures to go down a little bit, but it's coming off again. So it looks okay, but just kind of have that in sight. But the important thing is last week, best week in 3 months was off of bank earnings, which hasn't happened in a while, right? So, and Sam pointed out, I mean, look at Goldman this morning. Those banks are hanging in after a decent rally last week. So that's good, But this week, the bulk of Q3 earnings starts kicking in, market will be watching that. But other than that, it's fairly quiet. I think Powell speaks on Friday, but don't see anything in between. Anything is possible, right? But really, that's about it. So it's just a fairly the quiet to start the week.
So to me, what is in play here is the simple concept. I'm not talking stocks. I'm talking the concept of, did we bottom and do we go up for the next month or 30 days or a week or whatever? And people miss this. And they're going to panic buy into this. Is that possible? Absolutely possible. Not saying probable, we'll see. I don't know. Okay? So if that's possible, then how fast does this rip right back up? Right back up. Okay? So keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on that. And keep an eye on that.
One story this morning is the Apple advertising. Remember, we talked about that. Financial Times saying that their advertising business more than tripled its market share in just 6 months.
Very, very possible. Very possible. I would not doubt that. Would not doubt that. But today, to me, it's really simple, because if we really take off, I mean, where are we, SPX? SPX is down 16, you're at 44, I don't know, 60 or 55. This 4,500 comes today or tomorrow, you are absolutely going to blow and go way up, way up, way up, way up. Interesting, right? So then we see, and then we see. So think about that, Omen. If you were out of the market or you were playing to the downside, do you say we are now going to rip and come back in no matter what and start attacking it? Very possible. And if that happens, things of this Tesla, I mean, I don't understand why Tesla is not at 900. The guy he's out. People were sending me messages when he sort of goes, Sam, you're an idiot. You're an idiot.
Actually,
you're an idiot.
Let me touch on that Tesla thing. So a lot of confusion there. He wasn't short Tesla, and I don't know why there's confusion about that. I don't think this story is that big, because he has 800,000 shares of it or something like that, or he had like decent amount of shares, and I think he was buying some put to hedge, or just to play the downside. It was a trade, right? But he has the common shares. He wasn't just buying naked puts. So I don't know. I just I think that story is being made a big deal of, but I just didn't.
But it's a big deal of it, because when he did it, I mean, go look at this Tesla Q and this Gary Black. When he did it, nonstop, people are saying, this guy's the smartest guy shorted it. You need to short it, or you're going to get massacred.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was.
But now he's not short anymore, right? He's not short. I mean, to me, it's that simple. The story, it doesn't matter what you think Tesla's worth today. It just matters that he's not short. So people that follow him, it's going to go nuts. It's going to go nuts. And how about those? We got this thing. I see 922 and 971. Holy shit! 971 Omen. Omen's like, if it goes to 971, there's going to be Mickey Mouse outfits everywhere for Halloween. We're doing it upright.
Yeah, very, very possible. Yep.
So just know that. Just know that. And Sam is all about the probable and the possible and when things really, really go. That's it. It's that simple. Okay? Very, very simple. And then you do well, and then you do well. Okay, continue. What else you got?
No, I mean, that's about it. I would just think that a very strong rally last week, so possible market kind of consolidates here for a few days, or chops around and then goes back up maybe after earnings. You do have Lam Research and a bunch of other earnings that's kicking in. So I think the semi earnings will be in focus, right? So we'll see. You have Chipotle on Thursday too, Sam. Your favorite. That one is kicking in. So, but just a bunch of names as we go throughout the day. We'll see.
I'm not positive.
ASML and Lam Research.
Lam Research, I see it. ASML, I love. Lam Research, I'm not positive about. But what I know is if the market comes back today, they're going to buy the big boys. And if you make another $100,000 on Amazon, you pretty much don't care, right? You pretty much don't care.
Yep. It's all about being in the right name.
All about being in the right name. Exactly. And it's all about being smart. Being smart. And then we see, and then we see, and then we see. So, okay. What else you got? Anything else, buddy?
No, that's about it. So, it's going to be all about earnings this week. So, that's the ticket.
Okay. Good morning. Stocks go up, stocks go down. Epic. Do we go positive? If we go positive, Tesla's going to go nuts. It's going to go nuts. Tesla, 880s. If we get to the money, this is really intriguing. At the money is about 20. But if we get to 880, it's going to be 30. At the money will be 30. He's going to jack the premium. Now, maybe they miss earnings and it goes to shit. Possible. Then we see. Okay? SPX down 14, 15, somewhere in there. You're 24.65. I don't really see a downturn. Then we see. If it gets to 4,500, you got 45.21, 45.42. Downside 44.26. How about last week? All week, I said right off the bat. If it takes out 44.26, it goes to 44.72. Where'd it go, Omen? It went to 44.71.37. I mean, how amazingly stunning are Sam's earnings? I mean, Sam's numbers. Right there. Lam Research. 572, 591, 660. Okay, downside 531. NVIDIA, 221, 226 underneath 189. Goldman Sachs, 411, 422. AFRM, if this dips down to 142 and you can buy the 145s at $3 or $4, very interesting. Snowman needs 339, 341, 341. OIH, Ripper. Non-stop Ripper. Keep an eye on this. 232, 239. MicroStrategy, Bitcoin, can it get to 782? CMG earnings are coming, but Domino said they couldn't get enough employees. So they had to slow stuff down. The same thing with CMG, maybe. But CMG raised prices. Interesting. 1931, huge number. Amazon, 3409. Sam says 3409. Sam says 3409. Sam knows how the numbers are generated. Sam knows how incredible these are. And it closed at 3409.02. And even Sam is like, holy shit. I mean, I'm stunned. Okay. 3409, 3431, 3472. Then we see Shopalicious, 1461. UPSC, let it drop at 352. We're gonna go look at it. Interesting. BKNG, complete breakout, 3562. I don't know when Expedia's earnings are. I need to go find it. Every time Expedia beats, BKNG is up 20 after hours. Just history. Just something to know. So the next time, if you really like BKNG, and I like it, I think it's a breakout, then we need to move it on Expedia's earnings, because Expedia is going to guide. And if they guide way up, it's going to tell you BKNG is going to go nuts. NOW. How about NOW? We buy those for earnings. It drops $50. People are whining. It rips $50. He takes the premium higher, and now it's a double. And if it takes out 672 with force, it's probably 700 and goes to 800. Netflix, 692, 639, 652, 692 on the upside. 692 on the upside possible. Earnings are coming. Earnings will drive it. I'm hearing they made $1 billion on red light, green light, Squid Games. Then we see. BTNX just down a little bit. Moderna down a little bit. Moderna needs to get to 341. Roku, 333. Google, 2832, 2851. And Tesla. The Cowboys look like a Tesla. Rippy mode. 861, 872, 880. Technically, no real resistance till 882. So you can get there really fast. That'd give us 30. Jesus. It's time for me to fly. Hurry up. Fun happens. Okay, comments, questions. A lot of stuff here. Give me a second. Got to go through these. Lots of fun. Absolutely. Ravens are better. Ravens want nothing to do with Dak. They don't want anything to do with Dak. They're scared. Hey, Sam, do you have price target for Amazon? There is no targets. If it gets going, you use numbers. Don't use targets. Use numbers. Shorts will burn. Sam, how about you add a conviction buy to your buys, like strong? We're doing just fine right now. Thank you. Isn't debt ceiling tonight? Don't know. Sam, what we are missing, Elon has to sell 10 million of his shares to pay taxes by April 22nd. Tesla is worth a fortune. Why does he have to pay taxes? I'm confused. He doesn't take a salary, does he? I don't understand. Why does he need to sell to pay taxes? If you never sell the stock, you never pay taxes. I don't really understand that. Lots of earnings next week. SPX upside. SPX 4,500, round number 4,521. BITO approaches Bitcoin ETF will officially start trading on Tuesday. Interesting. Microsoft 306, 309 on Microsoft. Okay. Sam, if we sold all of our Teslas last week, would it be okay to add more this week? So here's the thing with questions like this. It's an hour and a half, an hour before market open. And this is why Sam is better than everybody else. Well, what if Tesla drops 6 in the first 5 minutes and then drops 20 and you're buying options? You're going to get screwed. We don't know what's going to happen in the next hour. We don't have any clue in the next hour if the stock drops or the market drops 100 handles. Okay, we don't know. So got to see and got to wait. Now, if Tesla, got to see the action before you make a decision. Look at the action. Okay. Do you think this Monday could be more muted? So here, all I care about, Amazon is ripping, if it can get through 3409, and Google reverses and Tesla goes up. That's all we care about. We don't care about anything else. Watch them in the first 5 minutes and see the action. And if Goldman Sachs doesn't drop, the market's not going to drop. It's going to go right back up. Should we play Lam Research and ASML? Reports pre-market. We'll have to look into that. We'll look at it in the room today to decide what we do. Then we see. Elon has to pay $10 billion because his option grants to him have to be purchased. The different price and options is taxable. His history tax rate is okay. I don't know. But yeah, I understand that he has to buy them, but maybe he doesn't. Who knows? I don't know. Don't know. Let's see. All I know is if I go make 500 grand on Tesla, I really don't care if he has to sell or don't sell. And if he doesn't have to sell them till next year, because he doesn't have to sell now. Telling me he has to sell now doesn't really mean anything to me because taxes are done. You have to already send in your extension, and you have to send in, if you did an extension, you already had to sell your money. That's next year. That's in April. That's a long way away. Okay? Then we see. Okay? Interesting. And that's what we know. Thanks, everyone. Have a great trading day.